This is Beavercast. Enjoy the show.
I've just got devastating news.
What?
So you know the rapper The Game?
No.
Oh my God, no one knows The Game?
Let me look him up.
The Game is a very, very, very big rapper. He was big when 50 Cent was big, The Game. And The Game once tweeted, I was like 20 years old or something. The Game once tweeted, the next person who follows me, I'll follow back. And I followed him and he followed me back. And I have 17 followers of Twitter and one of them was a huge rapper. And he's unfollowed me, I just saw. That was cold.
I feel like there's a verbal contract there where you can now pursue legal action.
I mean, I technically have beef with The Game, but he's a blood, so I don't think that's a good idea.
He's a blood? What does that mean?
Yeah. The Bloods and the Crips, the two biggest gangs in America.
I like to see how that lot do in my hometown, Preston, with the gangster shit. Walking around the pubs of Preston. They won't last 2 fucking seconds. All these tough guys walking around, thinking they're hard, come to some shitty pub in Preston where I'm from. Let's see how long they last. I'm telling you. Fucking terrifying.
I'm upset that he followed you. That's was something cool.
There's an estimated 20,000 Bloods in the USA. Good luck, Daniel.
No worries. There are 100,000 of us.
I think also the Bloods are mostly West Coast, by the way. The Bloods and the
Crips. Yeah, I know, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a problem-solving session now. We asked some people to send in life issues, things they need, dealing with, advice, and luckily they've got 4 of us to give that advice. So I'm sure between us, 4 comedians, 1 from England, 1 from Wales, 1 from Germany, and 1 from Russia. What can go wrong? Okay, so I got some messages. I don't even understand some of these. I need some translations. One just says, spill the tea on your first kiss. And that was me saying to offer advice to somebody. Well, that doesn't count, does it?
Let's just do it rapid fire. Mine was either kindergarten or first girlfriend, Germany, terrible kiss.
But the idea is we give advice to people. Did nobody ask?
Was the teacher arrested?
Get their first kiss.
What?
He was a priest, actually.
I said, was the teacher arrested afterwards, Cassian?
Oh.
No, I was back when everybody was like, girls are icky, I was just getting it, fucking invited to all those birthdays, man. Everybody was big fan of the Cassian.
Popular kid.
No, but
that's not a question.
I know, my God. The idea is for the hard of thinking that we give advice to people who have problems. So I'm going to look now. Did anyone actually send me anything? So I put anonymous questions, yeah? Anonymous, ask me questions for the podcast. Here's what I got. How tall are you? It just says... all it says is, grammatically incorrect. This is what it says. Cannot find boyfriends. 3 fucking... Cannot find boyfriends. I got...
no, but...
I haven't had sex in 2 years. Hold on.
Male or female? That would.
I don't know. I can't find someone who wants to try adult diapers.
I can fix that one. I can fix that one.
Go on.
Go to the nearest nursing home and turn on Grindr and see who's online. Done. Next. Easy.
There's a Bo Burnham rhetoric or philosophy that always applies, which is lower your standards. Or figure out that sex isn't the most important thing in life. Maybe look for more of an emotional connection, work on yourself, improve yourself, and then maybe you'll find somebody. Or go on Grindr.
Nothing about this said sex. It just said I can't find someone to wear adult diapers. We don't know.
The one before was I can't find boyfriends, and the other one was I haven't had sex in 3 years. If you can't find boyfriends,
my friend had that issue with not having sex for a while. He dumped his girlfriend.
That's a good one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If he wasn't having sex with
his girlfriend. It made a lot of sense. That made a lot of sense.
I mean, it's a good way, a good indicator of how emotionally involved you are if you're not feeling that intimate anymore. So
here's another one I got right. It says
to a psychiatrist.
It says you lit. 2 words. You lit. What does that mean?
Yes. Me and Oliver, yes. Olga, yes too, I think. Dan, sometimes.
What does it mean?
If we're lit.
What the hell does it mean?
Well, you can either be not lit or lit.
Right, so I'm
And,
not on
that-
fire, so I assume I'm not lit. You lit mean... I'm going to look this up. You lit meaning... Am I gonna...
It's like on Urban Dictionary. What does lit mean?
He's gonna get all these horrible definitions.
Intoxicated.
Go on, ask Jeeves.
Oh. Ask Jeeves, what does you lit mean?
Ask Jeeves. Daniel's like www.bing.com.
Fucking hell, you lit. All right.
Is Ask Jeeves still around?
I've got a question, and it might either be the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life, or it's the most intelligent question I've ever heard in my life. I'll go for it. If I eat myself, would I become twice as big, or would I disappear completely?
That's a tricky one.
It's
Yeah.
a bag of holding in a bag of holding conundrum.
I've got a theory, but it might be too. You'd eat yourself, right? So you'd always stay the same until you decompose, and then because you're dead because you've eaten yourself.
No, you would just turn into shit, wouldn't it? You'd just be a piece of shit afterwards.
But eventually, before you start shitting yourself out, you're gonna die because you've eaten too much of yourself.
That is true, but at first, let's say I'd start with my fingers, right? So I'm just assuming there's not a clone of me. I'm eating myself directly off my body. So I start with my fingers. If I start eating my fingers under medical supervision, that they keep healing it and everything, I reckon I could get through both my legs, both my arms, and nose, ears, and I could probably have a bit of the chest before it starts getting
you could
dangerous.
have a kidney.
Yeah, I could have a
Part of
kidney.
your
I've got
liver?
2 of them. Yeah. I could have my appendix. Yeah, that's about it. And then it'll become tricky. And all of that would turn into shit. So you wouldn't disappear. You wouldn't become
Yeah,
twice
but you'd
as
also
big. You would
absorb
become
some
shit.
nutrients from your food.
Yeah, but I don't grow back an arm, do I?
No, but you'd still absorb something from the body parts that you'd eaten. It wouldn't all be shit.
So if you-
It wouldn't be 100%
Yeah,
shit.
No, that's true. I'll probably be fat. I'll just be like a fat potato without arms and legs.
Can I get I want somebody to draw a picture of this.
Some like weird fat eating potato. The fuck? You lit. Who wrote me that?
Self-boring.
Another one.
I'm
Another
90
one says you a homey. I'm asking like questions. Hey, how can I help you? We're gonna do some like self-help, advice stuff on podcast. You a homie. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with these fucking idiots? And someone else said you lit. Some fucking asshole keeps sending me the same thing all the time.
Totally making a fake account for next week. you lit.
The fuck? So here's one says, well, cannot find boy. Hold on, there was one here that we might. It says here, someone's asked advice. This is a legit message. Please give me pickup lines that always work. Olga, go on. And now, so a pickup line. So has any man ever said something to you, like a line hitting on you, that you thought was really good, and you thought that worked?
If you're like super ugly, it would not work anyway. So it kind of depends on the person.
But like, can you think of one?
Correct.
Think of what? Have you got an idea in your head of one that you think would work?
If they just be nice, like and not boring. If they don't ask me where I'm from as first question, and if they don't ask me why I moved to Germany as a second question, and they don't ask me what do I do here, like professionally as a third question, then I'm already like, wow, interesting person.
I think we've got that's some killer advice for the listeners out there. For me, I don't know, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, good chat up line.
Damn, girl, you shit with that ass.
Can I snort coke off your tits later on?
You know what? Once, a guy approached me like on a bus station. I was just sitting minding my business, and he like asked me, "Do you like MDMA?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And he was like, "Do you want to come to my place? I have lots of MDMA, and like, so we can just cuddle." And I was like, "That's an interesting pickup line."
Did you go back?
No.
No.
I mean, I did not go to his place.
Let's
but
go
I
back.
kind of was considering it.
Let's go back to mine to do loads of MDMA and cuddle all night. That sounds.
The worst one I ever heard was it was when me and you, Cassian, when we were in the bar, and you said to that one girl, "There'll only be 7 planets after I destroy your anus."
Oh Fucking hell.
A guy once like messaged me on a dating app and was like, "I'll pay you $60 if you suck my dick." That was tempting. $60 is $60.
That's in
How
German.
much should I like pay you? Okay.
Are we gonna say how much, what that mouth do? How much for that mouth?
I once tried one in German. It's Ich habe eine Überraschung für deine Landebahn.
That is that's
Which in English
That's
would be
very
like, I have a surprise for your runway.
yeah, it works about as well in German, to be honest.
It was in this book I saw, this book of like naughty German, and it was the chat up line section, and one of them was Ich habe eine Überraschung für deine Landebahn. Okay, let me get this German chat up lines joke.
Chat up lines. I feel like they don't really work. The best way to talk to people or like to approach people is to just like, if you want to date somebody or whatever, or you want to go out with them, just talk to them like they're a person, like you respect them.
My game used to always be oh, should I go to the
How'd
podcast?
you get Vanessa?
That was high on MDMA in a club. But
See,
back
okay,
when
it's the MDMA.
back when I was your age, Cassian, back when I was your age, my shtick always used to be I always used to go to the hostel bar every weekend, every Friday, every Saturday, always to the hostel bar because the hostel bar is packed full of tourists. To the hostel bar and pretend I wasn't German. That was it. Or you go to a German bar, it doesn't matter, and then you just pretend you're British, and you're just like, oh, and then you need help finding something. So, oh, where's the Marienplatz? Oh, and then that was always an in. Just pretending you're a foreigner works.
Yeah. When I was in America, that like my Tinder was like popping off because it was like I'm German in there and like.
Oh, Germans. Yeah, Americans like Germans. Like that's a thing. Males, not females, but it's a thing.
Why is that?
What?
Similar shared political values, or?
I don't know. I mean, the average German isn't a bad-looking guy, right? They're usually quite tall.
And it's a beard.
Yeah, they're usually beard, tall. They're dressed but fucking boring. That's true. But usually, like the physics are all right, on a German usually.
The physics?
Yeah, the physique.
The physique.
Yeah, they hike, they cycle. Like usually people here are like rather fit.
That's
Well, there's another. Live in a country that's racist and then date people that aren't white because they'll be so surprised that a white person is nice to them that they'll just date you.
Hey, Olga, give us some insight. What's dating in Russia like? What's an average first date if you meet someone in your hometown? Where do they go?
I would say just standard cafe or something. I don't know. It's like not much different, I would say.
Not much
But
different.
actually, a few of my like Russian friends here, they like did not find any girlfriend here for a few years, so they flew back to Russia for a week, met someone, like kind of said, "Oh, I'm like living in Germany now," or whatever, and then they married, like after knowing each other for like 1 week or 2 weeks, and then like brought back like bride.
Visa on the fishing rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also works.
Have a good
Yeah.
passport. That's a big one.
Yeah. Oh, like
Girl,
that
the
no
German
shit.
passport
When
is the strongest in the world.
when I was
That's a
in-
good chat up line.
I went to Bosnia once with my work because the founder of my company was from Bosnia, and a lot of the people that we met there knew of me through my partner of that company, and without fail, every single woman who was like older woman that she knew would be just like their daughter just happened to be there while I was also there, and they like literally tried to get their daughters married to people. It was like because it was us and I think it was 3 other guys, and they were literally just like everyone just happened to have their daughter. It was very creepy.
But any other
That's kind of sad.
solutions though? People need our help. Did anyone get any problems
Yeah.
then?
Don't use chat up lines. They make you
I've
too
got
desperate.
some. I
Yeah,
got
don't
another
lose chat
one.
up
And
lines. I think we've agreed. Don't use chat up lines is the way forward.
I've got one where I literally don't know the answer from. Where do the fruit flies in my kitchen come from?
You're
That's
probably leaving like
Yeah, I know, but
scraps of vegetables out.
yeah, no, but where do they come
Yeah, but
from
how
though?
do they get there?
Are they in the fucking air?
Well, no, you
I
open
would
your
just Google
window.
that. Just Google that.
Well, they
But
reproduce
that's
very
not the
quickly,
fucking
so if
point,
you
Olga.
open
We
your
could
window
Google
once,
everything.
You got 5,000 in there. Like they fuck a lot. So they
They
like
come through the
if you leave-
window?
Yeah, like if you leave your window open and like you guys live.
They
in
really come through the window though, like the 4th floor.
Like windows.
Yeah, I'm pretty high up, Cassian.
your guys' windows aren't like that tightly sealed either, so like they can just get in if they smell that shit. That's why you can't leave food out.
Yeah, but where
In
are they
America, if you
outside
leave
them?
food out, you get ants.
You don't get ants. You get these damn fruit flies.
Yeah, it's Germany.
Maybe they're already present on the fruit, like small eggs that we don't notice that like exist there all the time. And once they get into like nice warm environment, they can thrive. Maybe.
I Google it. That's what it is.
What is it?
It's they lay eggs in something or another of ours, and then they eventually hatch. And if there's fruit in your house, then they'll go and lay more eggs.
No
So
shit.
they usually come via your bin and
They
stuff like that.
Trojan horse. Yeah, they Trojan horse.
They Trojan horse this shit.
Those little fucks. No comparisons with Russia and Ukraine at all, because that would be tasteless. Fucking little bastards. Any other problems then? Look, more like relationship problems. People need our help.
I do have a few like
Go
normal
on, Olga, go on.
problems.
Yeah, I was expecting
Um,
her to have the most.
Yeah,
comments.
exactly.
How would you like speak with a person who is in a relationship, like telling them that you like them? Like basically, how do you confess to a person
Don't
in a relationship that you like them?
Say, I'm gonna
respect the relationship.
your partner. I'm gonna destroy their life.
I'm gonna steal their identity.
But you can also never know if like relationship is good, right?
Yeah, but that's not.
You
If
can
the
also-
relationship's not good, then it's their business to end it. Like,
Yeah. Also, you could go up to them and say, "Is your relationship failing miserably? If it is, I'm
Sounds
a."
like the start of an infomercial. I've got a solution for you.
This is the whole idea. This is the point. Then, if it is failing miserably and you're contemplating suicide, then you can whore yourself around with me for a short space of time and realize I'm as miserable and depressing, and we're all rotten, really. And the idea that people are farming Warcraft gold in Chinese concentration camps only backs up my point that we should all just be dead. That'd be my piece of advice.
Really positive. Really positive.
Don't go near. Or if you do, offer the other person some money.
But for is it like moral?
Say, look, I'm gonna your relationship. So I like you, but your partner. Speak to the partner of person and say, I'm gonna ruin your life now, but is €20. Don't take it personally.
Or 40 camels.
40. No, that's got racial.
What? Camels aren't racist.
Camel's not racist, but you're alluding to something anyway. All right, then 200 cigarettes and a 200 cigarettes and a McDonald's hamburger.
200 cigarettes. That's not the going rate. Have you been to prison? It's more like 15.
So that's what I'd do anyway, personally. Any other Olga?
Oliver, you're in a relationship. What would you say?
What?
If we wanted to date you and get rid of Vanessa, well, how would we approach you? Hey, would you like to take this MDMA with me and come to my place and
My place and cuddle. Oliver, do you want to cuddle with me? I'd say Vanessa.
I'm right.
Vanessa, he is I don't know, a camel and 40 cigarettes and €8, 62 cents. Can I cuddle with Oliver on MDMA for the next 2 weeks?
How many camels am I worth for you, Daniel?
No, I don't think you're worth that camel.
No, he's high value.
There's some in Munich. That's some. If we're in the fucking desert, then might be worth 100 camels. Whereas in Munich, camels are hard to get hold of. So naturally they're more expensive. Supply and demand, man. Supply and demand. There ain't no supply of camels, but demand in Munich is extremely high.
Camel demand.
Camel demand.
The gas price.
Off the chart, gas prices off the charts. Camel demand. You can't. Honestly, now it's fucking insane. I'm gonna do an NFT for my startup camel.
Yeah, it's like you can buy camels.
Throwing out
They
young
trade
people
them for
words,
women.
Daniel. NFT, crypto
NFT,
investment.
crypto camel.
if you got
Yee,
40
Kanye
Just
West.
search into good
I'm gonna do a
podcast.
Kanye West crypto Nazi camel.
That sounds like a good startup idea.
Good
Like
stuff.
you probably can sell it.
Yee. What have I told you, Yee or Yay, whoever you are? Get off my Nazi camel, you piece of shit.
That actually can be a bit saying that, but you'd need British speakers, I think, because you keep alluding to it, Daniel, going ye. the whole time, ye West. You could do something with that. Ye old something, and then Kanye West is transitioning to a person from the Middle Ages.
It's coming from Cornwall.
From the old
My
West.
name's Ye Old Kanye West. Are you like barmen? Ye Kanye West. Where my tractor's broken.
My camel needs some
My
more water.
camel. I need some camel. What are the problems with it, Olga? What other things we're coming
Yeah. Oh no, I just have like two comedy related problems, kind of.
Go for
but
it.
Oh,
nothing personal. Well, I guess it's standard one. How did you get into stand-up comedy? My friend really wants to try, but doesn't.
Misery and pain. And and alcohol and taking too many prescription drugs at a weekend.
Bad decisions. Yeah, prescription drugs. Is really part of it.
Yeah.
Have
And
you
then,
ever, like, go to a psychiatrist and have them prescribe Ritalin, and then take too much of that, and then realize you're worthless and your life is worthless, and then make it other people's problem.
yeah. Now it's like
No,
now the demons aren't going to live in my head anymore. They're going to live through this microphone, and then they're going to go into your head.
Actual advice being go check out open mics and go hang out at a few open mics, see a few shows, get used to the vibe, and then eventually you'll be brave enough to do it yourself.
That's
Actually,
true.
my advice, this is how I got started, was because, like, I think if you go to too many shows, you're going to build up an expectation because you're going to see somebody do well. My idea, like, if you've never gone to comedy, go to a show and just the first night ask if you can do 3 minutes, and then try to write something, like, try to think of something that you think is funny. And even that experience of going up and having, like, realizing, oh, I'm not funny, the things I write aren't funny, that is what gets you to be a comedian. Then you're going to realize, okay, what is funny? What can I do to make people laugh? That is sort of what got me, like, I mean, I had a good reaction just going up the first time, and that was like, oh, I can do this. And that's all you need. You just need to see it for yourself.
I'd say a little bit different. I'd say, yeah, I'd just say actually do it and then maybe start going to watch open mics and stuff. I think the first thing is to just push through that fear factor. Just fuck it. Do it. Have some ideas. Go along. Do it. And then if you think too much, you procrastinate and then you don't actually do it. Whereas to just be like, I really want to do this now and I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. And then do it and you'll find afterwards it wasn't quite as hard as you thought it would be.
That's actually a fair point, what Daniel is saying, because the first show I went to was Comedy Kills, and I saw it, and it was a good show that night, and I was like, oh, that seems really cool. That was in March, and I set the date, I'm going to do it in June, and I was going to go to a few shows, watch it. Then I went to another show, and Yadchin was there, and Yadchin said, oh, you're on next Monday, I just written you in, and then I did it straight away the week after. So actually, what you're saying was actually kind of similar for me as well.
I'd just like get it. If you really want to do it as soon as possible. And you will be terrified. And you will be terrified. You will be fucking terrified. But afterwards, you'll feel amazing.
Also, it's like it's an open mic night. It's not, you're not Showtime at the Apollo or whatever. It's half the people on stage with you are going to be trash.
Yes.
Or say trash. At least half of their set's going to be trash because they're working on it. But the only way to work on comedy is on stage. It's never just the writing. Like, writing helps, but you're going to learn how to write from being on stage. Like, that's the only way to get there.
Totally. I'd say that would be for that one. Next one, Olga. What's going on next?
Okay. How do you come up with your jokes?
It's like a
It's
complicated.
supposed to be relationship advice. I normally, as soon
I
as
told you I have two comedy questions.
as soon as I fall asleep, because I have fucking horrible sleep problems, my mind explodes with ideas. During the day, I'm just this like empty, dead shell walking around with nothing going on behind my eyes. Like a shark. It has doll's eyes. Have you ever looked into the eyes of a shark? It has doll's eyes.
Sherlock.
They're black. Whereas as soon as I close my eyes, my mind goes berserk and then any old shit just pops into my head, personally.
So you basically say that people have to probably have the same like sleeping problems as you do.
No, God, no.
You like get some sleeping problems.
I don't have sleeping problems anymore, and I come up with a lot of stuff when I'm falling asleep. The thing is, if you set your brain to hey, we're looking for funny things at the moment, then you'll just have it happen more. Because like if you're actively looking for funny things, everybody when they lie down at night, they think of different things. But if you're like, oh, I'm trying to think of funny things, you'll automatically kind of go through funny things, or you'll think of normal things and find them funny while you're falling asleep. It'll just naturally come. Just write it down.
But you think you're training yourself to do that?
No, if I'm
Yeah, you
like,
are.
if I'm actively planning, like, oh, I want to start writing comedy, and I during the day, maybe sit down during the day, try
I
write
see.
20 minutes, just ideas. But your brain is just going to be looking for funny already, and then you'll write genius things down, like I've got here in front of me on my list. Why don't we try flavored anal beads? Stuff like that.
Surely they would be flavored if the lube is flavored.
They're all flavored.
Well, yeah, they're all flavored when they've gone in and come back out again.
Yeah. The question if it's a good flavor, the ones that you like.
Yeah, shit flavor.
No, like when I
yeah.
teach, I've taught like courses on doing PowerPoint and like creativity, and a big part is one, setting yourself up to actually do it. So start thinking about doing comedy, and the other is do something else, like go in the shower, work out, and like when your mind is not busy doing things, it will naturally just come up with stuff that you think is funny to amuse you, and then go on stage to actually figure out what like people relate to. Like that's important, figuring out what is relatable, because some things are just going to be funny to you and your friends or to your group. So you want to actually also get but that's like the next step. That's like becoming a full-on comedian, and like everybody here is still working on that all the time, is like figuring out what's relatable, what's up to like date right now, what's good. So
One thing I've echoes on that is that I've had stories like I've told my friends in the pub about various bullshit from my life, and I'm not saying they've all been like proper hysterics, laughing their asses off. Say, oh, you got to do that, you got to do that on stage. And every time I try that on stage, it dies and doesn't get anywhere.
I agree 100%, Daniel.
How in the name?
100%.
I cannot. I've got this shit stories from my life that various bollocks like being ass broke back in my hometown, and I tell people this stuff, and they cannot stop laughing. They say it's brilliant, and then I try and recreate that on stage. It never works, and I wish I could figure it out.
I think I have a theory on why, because I have exactly the same. Like I've got like a few stories, and like if we're a big group of friends, I'll always, not always, but like I'll often tell that story because it always like everyone knows it. It's really funny. It's because the people that you're doing that for have background knowledge on you, and when you're going up on stage and you're telling the story cold, they have zero background information. So it's funnier to see if you know that somebody, and something mildly funny happens to them, you'll find that really funny because you know the person. If I tell you the same story about a stranger, you'll be like, it's kind of funny, but it's not that funny. And I think it's because you don't know the character. I think that has a big role to play in it, because they don't know that, oh, that's typical Daniel. That's a lot of why stories work. So you kind of need to change how you tell the stories, or just tell completely different stories.
Yeah, learning to give context is very big. Like, what slight amounts of context do people need without, like, talking too much to give them, like, a good joke to laugh about?
Yeah, good point. Words of wisdom there, Oliver and Cassian. Did you have any more, Olga? Any more problems from...
Well, I don't like these problems.
What?
Relationshipy one.
So there's one there you don't like. This is probably really good.
No, they're like just like, will Trump be the next US president? General.
Oh, that's not a problem then. For comedy, it's brilliant. Get Trump back in.
Not from...
I've got one.
We'll have many.
I'll give you two, and you can decide which one, if you want either. How do I learn to speak to people after COVID? So I think someone who was in a lot of lockdown and like didn't meet people. And the other one,
younger person.
Yeah, or the other one is how do we fix the problems with e-scooters?
E-scooters, just fucking sweep them all up and dump them all in the sea.
What is the problem?
Just sweep them all up and chuck them all in the fucking river. That's what I do with that.
Hey, e-scooters are convenient.
E-scooters just a fucking pest.
They're convenient until you're blind, and then they're not so cool.
And when you get some fucking wanker, it's always some. They always look the same. Some twat fucking on his. But look at me, I'm cool, aren't I? Because I'm wearing kind of a suit, but I've got trainers as well on because I'm cool and awesome. And I'm gonna pay no attention to what the fuck is going on around me because I'm a selfish cunt.
Wow, Daniel Beaver would have hated me a year ago. I
know you love it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
trainers.
Yeah, you'd have been the one I'd been like, I've got half a bottle of beer. I was like, should I finish my beer or throw it at that cunt on that e-scooter?
I'd
I'd have chucked it at you. No, just get rid of. They're annoying. Get rid of them all. Oh, does my head in. People are getting lazy. You know what they should do? Walk. Technology has existed for hundreds of thousands of years to get us around. It works really well. It's called walking. Walk.
It is like I've had moments where it's like, oh, I'm gonna miss the train, and then I e-scootered and like managed to catch it. Like but like city bikes do that too. Like just put more city bikes in places.
Yes.
Yeah, city bikes, but city bikes are shittier to rent. They just are like literally like just UI wise. They're much more. It takes with an e-scooter, I get on and off like within literally 3 seconds, and with a bike, it's a whole fucking thing.
Make the bikes more convenient. But I think like Lime and stuff, they're doing that now, where they also have those bikes that they're just parked around and they unlock themselves.
And that's you know, the gig economy thing. Everyone working like 0 hours contracts is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a juicer for Lime because that's so cool. I'm gonna be, no, you're not. You're gonna be fucked over and go around like a maniac
Race to
and
the
try
bottom,
yeah, it's an absolute race to the bottom. Yeah. So, and it's all again, it's just little startup little shits. Let's exploit as many people as we can to get as much money as we can in a short amount of time. I know. What else can we exploit people? Yeah, let's like make fucking scooters. Piss off.
Do you know that most of the scooter companies who produce the scooter, they all lose tons of money on all the scooters. Like for instance, Bolt is much cheaper than all the other ones. They lose a fuck ton on the scooters, but they don't care. They literally write that money off. And the main goal is to get everybody to install the Bolt app. And then they released cheap scooters, so everybody got the Bolt app. Everyone has the Bolt app. Now, if you open the Bolt app, it doesn't go straight to the scooters. They are competitors of Uber, and you can book like a car via the Bolt app. And you have to like opt in to go into the scooter menu. So their main game was just to get everyone to download their stupid fucking app so that they can sell everybody ride shares.
Fucking
Uber's doing that with food now. Like
there's like Uber Eats.
Also pivoted to Uber Eats, yeah, because like the people are already driving, so they can also deliver food. It's basically turning people into driving slaves. Like,
yeah.
It was in America. I Ubered everywhere just because like it was the only thing I couldn't pay a cabbie. It was impossible. My phone could pay people, but it's so cheap and such like dirt work. I'm sorry to people who drive Uber, but it's dirt work. Like it's tough, it's hard hours, and you're not getting paid anything. And like it solely relies on me tipping you, which as a German is like super offensive to me. Like your employer should be paying you.
Well, yeah. Just give the people who are doing the work a decent amount of fucking money, not like screwing them over. Bastards.
What was the first question again?
Yeah.
Robert?
How do I speak to people after COVID? After 2 years of COVID?
Open your mouth and sounds come out.
I actually have for me, what really helped in talking to people is realizing that like a conversation isn't necessarily about yourself. It's a conversation. So asking people questions,
dialogue,
gets them
not
talking
monologue.
about themselves. Yeah, don't monologue.
That's it. Or join groups. Start comedy, for instance.
It's actually, I'll tell you what. Go on.
No, I don't have this problem myself, but I know someone who has this problem. And actually going to improvisation, like kind of groups, really helped them. Because when you go to improvisation, it's so weird at first. Like everyone like doing some shit and like weird shit. And you have to be bold. And it kind of reminds me of my childhood. But like it actually helps you to like be comfortable.
Yeah, that was my joke.
No, we all thought it. Just so you know, my joke. We all thought that at exactly the same time.
But yeah, I also went to like improv myself, and like I get why it helps to like start speaking to people.
Yeah, I have theories on this, but
just realizing. I know
you get an alcohol addiction, and you got groups to go to. You can go to AA.
No, I know a lot of people have social anxiety, but like realizing that it's also not as serious. Like you got to realize like other people are thinking about themselves all the time, just like how you're thinking about yourself all the time. And so like all the little mistakes that you make and realize about yourself, they don't notice. You'll You'll notice if you do comedy, you'll notice this. It's like something you actually have to learn. Like people pay way less attention than you think, and so just be kind with yourself. Just give yourself a little bit, like little slack.
That's the best advice in the world. Is literally you're going to be happy as soon as you realize that no one cares about you. It's just like then life's easier. No one gives a shit what you do. It's just true.
Very true. Or
Did you already adopt this philosophy?
well, there's a lot of other ones. So basically, if you do something bad now, is anyone going to give a shit in 50 years? Nobody cares.
Even now, no one gives a shit
do
about
5
anything.
minutes. So nobody gives a fuck.
Well, we're also like our brains are like trained to be like looking for drama nowadays, and everybody's like looking after online drama. But that go outside and talk to real people. You'll realize nobody cares about drama. Everybody just wants to have a quick chat or go home or whatever. Like it's not as serious as you think. Like that's the
everyone
best
is
advice I can
nice.
give. In
Nearly
real life,
everyone
everyone's
is
nice.
No, like it's based. Nearly every single person is not a dickhead if you get to know them.
Exactly.
There are
I
a lot
also
of
have
dickheads,
this
though.
like thing sometimes.
I knew something was gonna come. I knew something was gonna come there. You wouldn't let that one stand.
No.
Most French people.
No, there are a lot of good people. There is a lot of, people can be hard work and often come from a selfish perspective. But if you can get beyond that, often, they're quite nice. But
Just also figured out once. No, I've just started like once talking to like cashiers, so like taxi drivers, so like to random people at the street, like security guards. They're all super friendly, and actually you can talk to so many people around them. And sometimes they're not happy if their day was hard, but sometimes they're so bored at their jobs that they're actually so happy to have like a chat and like.
Well, that's like, and most people who do working class jobs, actual jobs that people need, are generally like super friendly, really nice. It's just the rich fucking cunts who think they're better than everybody else. They're generally the ones that are a bit rude.
But that is true. Like, talk to people who you'll only see like one, like even your like the receptionist at your doctor or whatever. Like, you're not going to see that person again for like maybe another half year or maybe ever again. Like, just have a quick chat. Ask them what their day was like, or like if they have kids or whatever. It's people are happy to talk about themselves.
And if they're not, you'll soon know. You'll know almost instantly they don't want to talk. So then just drop it. Read the signals. Read the room. You all right, Oliver? What are you doing?
Preparing the
pull
next
out toilet
question.
paper while you were asking that.
Just like put the like toilet paper, like, and then like Oliver, what are you doing?
Daniel doesn't understand the concept of multitasking. I noticed that the other week.
What do you mean?
No, he is. He's jerking off right now.
Oh,
Second monitor,
Terrific.
babe.
Oh.
What do you mean? What multitasking? What did I do that gave the game away?
You get really irritated if people are on computers when you're talking. I noticed that. I was like typing when we were rehearsing the other day, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Jesus, I just wrote something down." I actually get the same. I get the same if people go on their phone when I'm talking to them. Though,
Yeah, I get really angry about that. Not angry, but I'm just like, hello, there's someone here.
I do it. I
do
do
it.
it sometimes, but I try not to. It's not easy.
No, it's fucking extremely difficult, in fact.
Thanks for listening. If you want to find out everything about the episode, like Instagram handles of who was in it, just check the episode description. If you enjoyed it, please give a 5-star review, subscribe, download, share the love, do all that kind of stuff. Thanks again, and till next time.